Joining me today on NYSE Flow Talk is Chris Suarez. He is co-founder and co-CEO at Place. Chris, it's wonderful to have you here. Thanks for joining me today.
Thank you for having me. Thrilled to be here.
So Chris, talk to me about Place and the problem you're solving.
Yeah, I think first, it's important to understand that Place is a mission-based organization. We believe in homeownership and the benefits of homeownership. And so at Place, everything that we do is built around this mission of delivering the dream of homeownership everywhere. In order to do that, we need to make homeownership easier. So we have a firm belief that, and research shows that homeownership is sort of the foundation of the economy in this country. Homeownership drives local economy, it drives stability of communities, it drives stability of families and schools. And so we wake up every day and say, hey, how do we make homeownership easier so more Americans and people outside of this country can be homeowners? We also believe that the path to homeownership and the path to the consumer looking to buy or sell or invest in real estate is through the trusted real estate professional. So first and foremost, Place is a platform to enable the real estate agent to sell homes in an easier way.
Okay, so Chris, if the pathway to homeownership is through the trusted real estate professional, how do you facilitate that?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think if we look back to 2021 and 2022, we saw over $31 billion sort of flow into the industry. It went to some brilliant entrepreneurs, all trying to find solutions on streamlining the path of homeownership, making homeownership easier for the consumer. And most of those were tools actually that got developed for the real estate agent. Interestingly enough, it hasn't made the process easier, right? 2, 3, 4 years later, $31 billion later, it's just as hard. And that's evidenced by the fact that every year we sell pretty much the same number of homes, right? We sell 5 million homes a year in this country. Last year we saw a little bit less. This year we'll see less. Next year we might see less. So it's actually not making it easier. It's actually getting harder and harder. Part of that is because those that were sort of crafting those solutions took one problem and created a widget or a solution for that one thing. We saw solutions around how do I find the house? We saw solutions on, gosh, how do I finance this house? Or how do I buy before I sell? Or how do I insure the home once I've gotten it? Place is a platform that says we need to create a solution for the real estate professional to solve all those problems for their consumer. And by doing that, it'll create a smoother transaction, but it also creates customer and consumer loyalty. So we streamline the business of the entrepreneur, the real estate business owner, by providing a platform to take care of their technology platform, their operations systems, their talent acquisition systems, their talent retention systems, lead management and solutions. Really, I would look at it as a business services platform or a market services platform that actually a lot of other industries have seen, just not ours yet. So if you look at doctors or attorneys or accountants or dentists even, business services platforms kind of came into their industry and made their world better. They were great at being dentists. They were great at being attorneys, but they weren't building these big businesses. And these business service platforms came in and said, hey, let us run the back end of your business. Actually, let us run the front end of your business as well and everything in between so you could do what you do great. And that is what Place is for the real estate agent. It streamlines their business, it allows them to do more business, it actually builds consumer and customer loyalty, and then ultimately drives profitability for those business owners.
And Chris, how about the homeowner? How are you delivering a better experience for the homeowner?
Yeah, it's interesting. If you look at our country, again, we're mission-based. And so we take a step back and say, the average American renter has a net worth of $6,300. The average American that is a homeowner has a net worth of $225,000. Like, it is night and day. And so everything that we do says, how do we help people into homes, whether it be their first home, their second home, their investment property? We know that builds net worth. It drives the economy, right? Home ownership and spending on homes was 17% of GDP last year. And so what we ultimately know is consumers love convenience. They want to go to one place and be able to figure out a purchase easily. In fact, the most valuable companies in the world, like if you get underneath of what they actually do on the surface, it's all convenience. Look at Amazon, right? One of the most valuable companies in the world. Jeff Bezos woke up and realized that he was going to build a company on three main things that's centered on convenience for the consumer. People would always want things faster. People would always want choice, and people will always want a lower price. And so we take a step back, and the same is true with home ownership. People don't want to deal with 6, 7, 8 different companies or consultants or professionals to buy a home, sell a home, invest in real estate, and that's what they have to do now. So Place says we are building a platform for the homeowner to go to one place and get everything that they need for their home, whether that be insuring it, financing it, maintaining it, managing it, buying it, finding it. And we're certain that when that happens, we will actually see a larger total addressable market. There will be more buyers and more sellers because it'll be easier to get in and out of that asset or use the wealth that they're building in that asset appropriately.
Mm-hmm. All right, and finally, Chris, tell me, what's next for Place?
Yeah, well, many know that back in 2021, we sort of closed out our Series A. The first time we've taken on any investment. Goldman Sachs, a great partner of ours, led that round with Viewpoint and 3L, all here in New York. And what's interesting about that is we didn't need that money to run the company. We were a cash flow positive company. We had never taken on investment. We were growing at a solid rate. But we realized that if we were going to grow faster, if we were going to go consumer direct, if we were going to move from being a really well-known and respected company within the real estate industry to being a really well-known and respected company to the average American, we needed to go to consumer services. And so you'll see us taking that investment and slowly, strategically, and oftentimes conservatively building that technology to support those services, acquiring companies that are doing that really, really well. And we've begun to do that over the last couple of years, sort of executing on that mission of bringing everything related to home all in one place.
All right, well, Chris, wonderful to talk with you.
My pleasure.
Thanks for joining me on Floor Talk.
Yeah, thanks for having me.